What's going on, guys? We are back. This is the Gold Division here at Formula 7 Racing. This is round 4, season 5 here in Catalonia in Spain. And it looks like everybody is out on track, so I don't know who's going to settle up first. I'm going to go with the Red Bull Lucas, who's just about to start his flying lap. So yeah, it's already getting interesting. The Gold Division, it's already heating up. If you look at gold at the minute, look at, say, pole positions. We'll go on to pole positions for the first 3 races of the season. So, B-Right, pole in Bahrain, the Monster, pole in Jeddah, Newlet, pole in Miami. So, it could be a 4 separate pole position sitter. And that's just how ranged it is at the moment. It's amazing. A huge shout out to Mascati, all the way from Finland, who's raced with us for many seasons. He was the season 2 world champion. He's been an incredible driver. I think season 2, season 3. He's won countless trophies here at Formula 7 Racing. He's been an advocate for Formula 7. He's leaving. This is his final ever race with Formula 7 today. So hopefully he comes out of it with either a win or a podium. But good luck to him. Oliver De Vos comes through in the Alpha Tauri, but not for long. Here comes E. Williams in the Haas. So E. Williams goes fastest, and then Lucas comes through and goes 4 tenths quicker in that Red Bull. So Lucas comes through with 1:17.8. E. Williams about 4 tenths off the pace at the moment, and there goes Mascai one final time with a 1:17.827. Goes fastest in that Williams. It's a real shame to lose such an amazing driver. The Monster comes through. He's already set a pole position this season. He goes through with that Red Bull and goes a tenth quicker. So yeah, it'll be a real shame to lose such an amazing driver such as this guy. He's one of a kind. He's one of the top tier drivers that Formula 7 have had. So yeah, it'll be a massive loss. So this guy invalidates. Dev Peace come through. The American with a 1:17.6. They are speeding up a little bit, getting a little bit quicker each time. Yeah, be right in that Ferrari. Only 3 tenths of a second separate the top 6 drivers at the moment. Top 7, sorry. 2 tenths separate the top 6. 3 tenths separate the top 7. So that's how locked and loaded it is. Ariel, how you doing, mate? It's nice to see you back on the grid. Newlet in the Mercedes goes a 1:17.4. Newlet set pole position last week in Miami. He's absolutely flying. He's on for his 3rd pole in a row, I think. Yeah, he got pole in Miami, then he got pole in the realistic in Jeddah, and then he's going for another pole here today in Spain. So he's going for a hat-trick of podiums in a row, Newlet. Yeah, interesting. He's always had very good qualifying pace, Newlet. Not as good as he's got this season, but he's always been decent. It's just his race that always seems to let him down. He always seems to get into a few tussles and ends up coming out of it the worse off. So, see if he can get through there. But yeah, 2 tenths quicker than any other driver in the Mercedes at the moment. So B right now down to P9. Xavi in the Alfa Romeo is in P10. E. Williams is in 11. The driver at risk at the moment, A. Quinlan. He's not actually set a decent banker lap yet. But A. Quinlan in the Williams back on the grid. Nice to see him back on the grid. Ryan Dijkhoven in the Aston Martin. He's currently P16. Strategy in the McLaren is 17th. Tocci in the other Alfa Romeo in 18th. Ties in the Aston Martin yet to set a lap. And then Joe Champion in the other Mercedes is currently in P20, but he is on a lap, so we'll go on board with him as he comes round turn 3, the long right-hander, and up towards turn 4 around 180 miles per hour, keeping it nice and tight to the chicane. Xavi, I thought your lap was decent. It's ridiculous. They're ridiculous times, them. We're only 8 minutes into Q1 and you've seen the state of them. Jesus. Ryan has lost it going round turn 2. Can we jump on board with his teammate and just have a look where he's lost that? Oh, he's in the wall. So he's come out of turn, it looks like he's come out of turn 1 and he's lost his rears and spun it into the right hand side of the wall. So Ryan Dijkveen is out in Q1. So back on board with Joe Champion in the Mercedes. He's just coming through the final couple of chicanes, the last sector. And up towards the line he goes. And it's P14. E. Williams is out. Oh, Jesus. E. Williams has lost it on the straight towards the finish line. Let's have a look. Oh, so he's lost his rears and binned it into the wall. Wow. If they're already struggling like that through qualifying, you got to remember you're going flat out in qualifying, aren't you? So, but he will be disappointed with that. He's going to be starting P15 now, E. Williams. Ty's still yet to settle that, but it's about to come through in the Aston Martin. And it's going to be a 118.4, goes P12. So the driver at risk now is Oliver De Mose, who's actually improving in the AlphaTauri. Yeah, that's the thing, Baxter, and you're going to see a lot more as well, especially when you've got drivers absolutely throwing it around here. I expect Actor to see probably more crashes in qualifying than we'll probably see in the race, because they're really going flat out. In the race, I think they'll tend to lean off the throttle a little bit, but then obviously you'll get the bumper-to-bumper action. See Maxi Block, I think he's just retired in the pit lane. Yeah, I don't think he wants to risk anymore in Q1. So, Maxi Block says that's enough to get through to Q2. I'll leave it at that. Oliver De Mose comes up towards the line, goes P11, so he does improve. Captain Blade, who is also reserving today in the McLaren, he's currently in the pit lane. Finnick's not here today. He's probably still crying over that result with Fulham yesterday. Ty's in the Aston Martin. PX Limits is improving as well in that Ferrari. His teammate, the world champion and two-time driver of the year. But let's not pretend that PX Limits didn't play a huge role and a huge part of that championship season for his teammate D. Wright. PX Limits definitely pulled a couple of races out the bag for his teammate. He was always there to support him, helping him. You know, he was an amazing teammate last season. So yeah. B. Wright might have been the championship winner, but it was definitely a team effort. PX Limits goes P13 in that Ferrari, so Tyes is now the driver at risk. Tochi is not set a lap yet. Yellow flags at 3, I don't see anything. So Tochi needs to get a lap on the board here, and his ERS is very low. Oh, he's backed out, so he's going to go into the pit lane. Only 6 minutes remaining. Where's Strategy? He's on a lap as well. Muscati is inside in the pit lane, yeah. So the Williams driver says that's enough for me also in Q1. So you'll start to see the business end of things now. So Joe Champion and Tochi both in the pits. A. Quinlan is just coming out now. He needs to get a bit of pace on that lap. Strategy, they're not far off, to be fair. I mean, he only needs to find about 3 tenths. Tochi, he's well inside there. He could get through with 7 thousandths of a second onto his lap. So yeah, very close. I mean, 2 tenths of a second separate third to 10th. 3 tenths of a second. 2 tenths of a second. Jesus. So there is a Williams coming round now. That is A. Quinlan, so we'll go on board with him. As he starts his flying lap, he needs to improve. So down into turn 1 he goes. He wants to go out wide and cut right into here. Throttle out into turn 2 and then go around the long right hand. That's turn 3. But be careful, be careful. Oh, he's done it. He slips out. In time trial, you can go full throttle flat out in that long right hander in time trial, but for some reason when you come into the race you have to lift off. I tried doing it in Q1 in my race and every single time I went through there, you cannot go through there flat out. You have to lift off, otherwise you spin every time. But in time trial you can go through there flat out. So yeah, A. Quinlan's tyres won't be great now, but he's going to have to do something if he wants to get through to Q2. Cyclo, it's actually nobody that's racing with us at the moment that's going into gold. If we go to crossplay, and it comes along, then we'll be getting somebody that's raced with us before that will probably get back into gold, but we'll see. Captain, you can go flat out through there. Nice. It's tricky though. I personally couldn't go flat out through there. Every single time I tried to go flat out, I lost it. Just have to ease off very slightly. But I could go flat out very easily. On time trial, I could go flat out very easily through there. Oh, he struggled again. Hey, Quinlan, he's really struggling here, and it's the same way again. That's exactly the same as what I was like in Q1 in the silver race. Struggling to go through that right-hander. Tochi, he needs to improve as well. He's yellow flag up to 1. That is Tyres. Tyres has gone P2 in the Aston Martin, a 1:17.5. I must have missed that. That's a phenomenal lap by the Aston Martin driver. Yeah, Cycle, to be honest, we only really, change drivers through divisions like once a season, which we've already done at last round 3. Because people then start to fight for championships and fight for constructors, and then you want to go 5, 6, 7 weeks in there and start moving them. All the work's undone and they've got no chance of competing in that next division to try and get anything because they're already so far behind. So that's the reason that we very rarely move drivers up and down more than once throughout the season. It's usually early on as well. And Tochi's done it again, so Tochi is out. That is it. Tochi is out. Strategy looks like he's slowing down. Maybe maybe getting ready for one last flyer. Tochi, I don't think, is going to make it round. He might do actually, but he's not got very much ERS. Where's A. Quinlan? A. Quinlan started and he's got through that turn 1 as well. PX Limits is currently safe, but he is the driver at risk, but he's seeing everybody behind him struggle. Tochi's strategy, A. Quinlan, Joel Champion, which A. Quinlan is improving. Joel Champion just coming through sector 3 at the moment in that Mercedes. He needs a hell of a lap here to get through to Q2, and the Mercedes driver coming through the final chicane. The right-hander towards the line, a little bit wide. He's well off the pace. But he's going to have one more crack at it. There we go. So maybe he wasn't on a flyer. Maybe he was just getting ready for this one last chance. A. Quinlan is 4/10 up at the moment, so it is going to be close. Strategy's still down on his time. So is Tochi. Here comes A. Quinlan. Where's PX Limits as well? PX Limits going to come towards the line. Is he going to improve as well? PX Limits goes even faster, goes P13. A. Quinlan comes down towards the line, goes a 1:18.5, stays P17, and that is it. A. Quinlan will be out in Q1. Strategy's in the wall as well. The McLaren driver, I tell you, they're struggling for grip, these drivers. Joe Champion He's on one more attack, and it's Captain Blade that is now the driver at risk. Oh, Joe Champion. Oh, he's out. Joe is out. Strategy has been disqualified for parking in a dangerous location. He's out as well. Where's... I can't actually see where he is. Anyway, Strategy will actually go to P20 now because of the DSQ. So A. Quinlan's out. Tochi is out, yeah. So Captain Blade does make it through. The driver at risk he was, but the driver survived. PX Limits does go through in P13 as well. It's going to be close for this top 10 now in Q3, in Q2. Where did that come from? Xavi, he didn't need to set that lap, and the Irish driver has just come through with a 1:17.406. What a lap by Xavi in Q1. Phenomenal. Do you know that lap that Xavi's just set there is the fastest lap anybody has set all day, and it's only the Q1 time here in gold. Xavi's just beat the pole position time for silver and bronze today. Granted, he only beat silver by 12 thousandths of a second, but he beat bronze by 10th of a second. But that is an unbelievable time by Xavi in that Alfa Romeo. So still going at the moment, not sure why. Oh, because Xavi's still driving around, actually, of course. If you want to retire Xavi, I'll wait till we get to the line and then we can move on to Q2. There we go. So Xavi is the fastest man on track here in Spain in Q1. The bronze world champion, showing him how it's done here. The Irish driver in the Alfa Romeo is the fastest driver with Nuala in the Mercedes in P2. Ties in the Aston Martin. He's got some pace as well. 0.4 of a second separate the top 11 drivers in Q1. Starting from the back of this grid, Strategy in the McLaren disqualified for parking in a dangerous location will start from the back of the grid. Alongside him, Ryan Dipavine in the Aston Martin will start in P19. Joe Champion just in front of him in that Mercedes, and alongside him, A. Quinlan in that Williams. Tochi in the Alfa Romeo will be in front of him, and E. Williams, who crashes out but does a decent time, will start in P15 alongside Tochi. Only 14 drivers go through to Q2. 4 will be eliminated next. So they're all rushing out here again. They did the exact same in Q1. They all tried to get out of the pit lane as quick as possible. But it is the Williams of Muscat, his very final race, and he wants to be first out. So we'll stay on board with the Williams of Muscat. Oh, he's been amazing, hasn't he? Muscat, he's had so many race wins. Finished second in the championship last season on the last day in Abu Dhabi. What an amazing season that was as well, right down to the wire. And I think, what, 7 points separated them. So yeah, Muscat, you know, I think 7 points or 9 points separated the final two drivers going into Abu Dhabi. He had such bad luck as well, and be right, you know, luck just favoured him in the last couple of races. He, you know, putting in amazing races, phenomenal laps, you know. His teammate was helping him every way he could, so yeah, be right did everything right. And Muscat just did everything wrong coming into the final couple of races, and that's just the way it went. But still an amazing driver, and he will be missed here at Formula 7 Racing. But we are on board with the Williams driver. Let's see what he can do. Could he get pole position on his very last race? Could he? We shall see. He has to get through to Q3 first, though. There is a yellow flag. Can't see any damage, though. Nice line through there. Maybe a touch sceptical at points. So here comes Muscat to set the benchmark here in Q2. Goes a 1:17.6. And it's a very nice benchmark indeed. Next through is Tyres, a 1:17.2 from the Aston Martin driver of Tyres. That is brilliant. Maxi Block comes through in the Alpine. Goes a 1:17.5, goes P2. Then Muscat, obviously, with that 17.6. Dev P, the American driver in the Haas, goes P4. Captain Blade in the McLaren goes P5. Oliver De Mose, 666, unlucky for him in the Alpha Tauri, goes P6. Fanfinis in the Alpha Tauri goes just behind him in P8. And who just went there? That was the Moz Monster. He's had pole position. Sorry, he's had the race win in Miami and Jeddah. He's going for a hat-trick of race wins here today. Can the Red Bull driver do it? We're not far off it. Be right in the Ferrari, the world champion, goes a 1:17.7. He's currently in P7. So Tyres a 1:17.2. That's 2 tenths quicker than any pole position lap today. That is, I don't know where he's pulled that from. He is getting real quick at the moment, Tyres. PX Limits in the Ferrari. He's going to set a lap as well. Lucas is still in the garage, and so is Banter Brandon. So, on board with PX Limits. See if he can show us what to do here. Show us how it's done. Currently in P12. Who just went through then? Oh, that was Fanfinis. Went P8. Just behind the Ferrari at B right. So Fanfinis in the Alpha Tauri is safe at the moment. The driver at risk now is Captain Blade. The other Alpha Tauri driver of Oliver De Mose needs to improve. PX Limits coming through the final couple of chicanes in that Ferrari. Nice exit onto the curb, up towards the line. Oh, he's on a real bad lap there. So he's going to have to go again. But he has got a lap on the board. That is Lucas on an outlap and Banter Brandon as well. The Alpine and Banter Brandon, he's had some cracking races recently. He really has. Oh, that's not good, Cyclo. That's not what you want. So, Banter Brandon on an outlet. Who just started their flying lap? We'll go back on board with PX Limits in the Ferrari. He's going to try and get a decent banker on the board. There's a nice line through there, actually, by the Bristol boy. Coming through sector 2. Yeah, got a good exit. Needs to get this right here. Just maybe seems like he's just leaning off it a little bit. You know, he's still got a little bit more there to offer, but he comes through. It's a 1:18.3 from the Ferrari driver, but you could see that it was an amazing lap. You know, especially for a silver driver watching it, it was a great lap. but you could see, when you watch it, you can see where he's losing that time, where he's just losing off, and maybe not just, just losing out a little bit of time, maybe here and there, but his teammates out now. This is why they were, one of them was the champion last season. These were teammates last season and teammates this season. They're always there to help each other out and give a helping hand and try and get each other through to Q3, and they are amazing. Lucas in the Red Bull is going to be through next. The Alpine Brandon, going to come through, goes P3 at 1:17.466. Lucas in the Red Bull is going to be next, and then he has them two towing Ferraris behind him. So here comes Lucas. There was one point where Lucas was really struggling for race pace, struggling for race wins, struggling for, even getting points. And it's all turned around for Lucas recently. He seems to have found his form again. Found that race pace. He's getting quicker and quicker. He's winning races. He's getting podiums. He's getting fastest laps and pole positions. And he's racing in F2 and realistic. And he's really loving it again, Lucas. And you can see that. Maybe it's not that pressure because he doesn't have a full-time seat now. So maybe it's just not having that pressure on his shoulders of having to do it. You are a fraud though, Lucas. You're absolutely right. Dev P in the Haas goes even quicker than Tynes. A 1:17.1 from the Haas driver, the American of Dev P. Where did he pull that one from? Are we going to see the 1:16s? That'd be incredible if we did. Wow, the Dev P goes 1.2 tenths quicker than any other driver in Q2. Lucas is coming back out the pit lane. He's got 6 minutes to try and get through. The driver at risk at the moment is Xavi, Captain Blade, the other American driver, and Oliver de Moles, the Danish driver, I'm going to say. And then PX Limits, the British driver, and Lucas, the Dutch driver, all going out here in Q2 at the moment. Captain Blade is at turn a lap, so we'll stay on board with the American driver, or as he tells me all the time, the Dominican Republic. He just resides from the US of A. Unlike Defy, who is actually American. Ed Williams should have had a nap. Yeah, you'd have probably qualified higher if you had a nap. Fanfinis has gone quickest, the Alpha Tauri driver, the Dutchman of Fanfinis. Provisional pole in Q2. Dev P, the American, now sits in P2. Tyres in P3, but Lucas needs to get a lap on the board, and he's back in the pit lane. What is going on? Oliver de Mose is going to come through, goes P10, so he's safe at the moment, but he is the driver at risk. Xavi in the Alfa Romeo posted the fastest lap out of anybody in Q1. Can he do it again in Q2 and get through to Q3? Captain Blade, PX Limits and Lucas Oil in the pit lane. As you see, the Ferrari driver of PX Limits just coming out the pit lane. He does have his teammate, B. Wright, who is also struggling to set a decent time here. The times are so close. But B. Wright, being the world champion, currently sits in P9 and is definitely one of the drivers at risk here. So we will stay on board with the world champion, the two-time driver of the year. And I think PX Limits is always waiting. Maybe he's going to give his teammate a tow here. He is. He started speeding back up. So they are going to work together again. It looks like PX Limits is probably going to give B. Wright a tow down the straight. And then they're probably going to swap back round for the following lap, where PX Limits is going to be on his flying lap. And then B. Wright can give PX Limits that tow backwards. So here's where he's going to give him that tow down the straight, in under the slipstream. PX moves out of the way, very nicely done. Now PX should slot back in behind B. Wright. He does indeed. He will follow him now back to the straight, where B. Wright will then give his teammate the slipstream for his last chance to get through. Very, very good teamwork indeed from the two Scuderia Ferraris. So B. Wright's going to come through. Oh, wow. So he's now with the driver at risk. He's now in P10, but here comes B. Wright. 117.4 goes P6. Muskai in the Williams is now the driver at risk. Oliver de Mose is into the wall. Is he going to get through? Here comes PX Limits. Remember, he's got his Ferrari teammate in front of him who's going to help him and assist him down the straights now to get through to Q3. Lucas is out as well. He's back out. Is he going to make it round in time? Captain Blade, the American, in the McLaren. Oliver de Mose is spinning it again. His tyres have definitely overheated, but here comes Captain Blade on his flying lap. Muscati needs to get to the line as well. 50 seconds remaining here in Spain to get through to the final 10. So Captain Blade through turn 2. That was very nicely done. The long right-hander that's turn 3. He said you can go flat out round here, he said. And he absolutely goes flat out round there. 180 miles an hour as he turns into turn 4. Gets a nice entrance and exit out of there. Fanfre's not even chancing coming back out now. Not a chance. Captain Blade in the McLaren. This is his final shot to get through. Muskai is on. He's just about to start his flying lap. The Season 2 World Champion. Is it season? I think it might be Season 3 won the World Championship, Muskai. Oliver de Mose might get to the line and have one more crack at this. We shall see. B. Wright in the Ferrari has retired in the pit lane. He did give his teammate a bit of a tow as well. No, he didn't. He didn't. So PX Limits, he's not going to get through. PX is going to be out here. Can Captain Blade get through? Oliver de Mose is out. PX Limits is out. Lucas is on a lap. Blade's on a lap. Here comes Captain Blade. He's out. Here comes Lucas. So Muskai at the moment is safe. Here comes the Red Bull driver of Lucas, the Dutchman, round the final chicane. He's been improving, he's been getting faster and faster, but he's just not fast enough to get through to Q3 here today. That is it. Muscati is safe. The Williams driver can now back out of that lap and take the pressure off, because he has just managed to get through. And Xavi in the Alfa Romeo as well. He's through to Q3 once again. So PX Limits in the Ferrari goes out in P14. Oliver de Mose in the Alpha Tauri as well. He goes out in P13. So a few big names so close there. The lap times between the top 10 drivers is incredibly narrow. Fanfre's there. He tops the charts in the Alpha Tauri and the American of Dev P in P2 and the Moz Monster in that Red Bull in P3. Not even a tenth of a second separating the top 3 drivers. Half a second separated the top 10, and 7/10 separated the top 13. E. Williams, as you know, crashed out in Q1, so he will start in P15. PX Limits in the Ferrari will start in P14. Oliver De Mol was in the AlphaTauri, will start in P13. Captain Blade in the McLaren will start in P12. And Lucas in the Red Bull just misses out. He will start in P11, and that makes Mascai safe in P10. So we are into Q3, the business end of qualifying. Oh, I do love a good Q3. So Maxi Block is out first. Your Season 1 World Champion, the Belgian driver of Maxi Block. He will be setting the benchmark here in Catalonia. He's got his teammate right on his tail as well. That is Banter Brandon. So the two Alpines are 1-2 straight out the pit lane. So staying on board with Maxi Block. Round the long right-hander at turn 3. Everybody's out. Everybody's out the pit lane, so they seem to be rushing out to try and get a lap in. Can we get a weather update as well? Mascai got a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Pantherus. When did that happen? How did I miss that? So a 5-place grid penalty for Mascai on his final ever race for Formula 7 Racing before he whisks away and retires from league racing. But yeah, Mascai will not be racing with us after the race here today, and that's really unfortunate for him. Hopefully he can come back and get a decent result from that. So Dev P, the American driver in the hat, is on provisional pole here in Spain. It looks a bit cloudy out there as well, looks a bit grey and murkish. But the Haas driver is on provisional pole, and B Wright has absolutely pulled out the bag. Now there's rain! There's rain! This could change everything! That is rain! is anybody going to be able to set a 1:17.1 now that it started to rain? So no wonder they were all rushing out the pit lane. We could have an early end to Q3 here. Newler is still trying to improve. Xavi as well. He's 7/10 off the pace. Maybe he got caught out a little bit. Fanfinus went out. The AlphaTauri driver will start in P10. And Moz Monster, who's won the last 2 races here in Jeddah and Miami, is currently in P9. He's not going to be able to get near a 1:17.2 in these sort of conditions. Now the rain is really starting to come down. There's no way he's going to get in the 1:17.2s. Every driver back into the pit lane, every garage. There's action everywhere. So yeah, that's B right into the pit lane. So the world champion got an absolute flyer in. Newler has invalidated his lap time, so this could be it for Q3. So the rain came down very quickly here in Catalonia. And Ty's got a decent lap in as well. P3 for him. So pole position looks like it's gone the way of the American Dev P. So that is the 4th different pole sitter in 4 different races this season. The Haas driver of Dev P is going to claim pole position here. Amazing. That is a very, very good lap though, that by Dev P, a 1:17 at 1:15. That is a really good lap. I know, Ty is 0.0071. 3 of the drivers are in the 1:17.1s. 3 of them. That's how close it was. And now obviously the rain started coming down, so as soon as the Moz has finished his lap, they can pretty much maybe even retire and get through to the race now. So he is going to come through, Moz, to try and set a lap, but yeah, he's too much off the pace. He's in the 1:19s. So I mean, Brandon is coming out on an out lap, maybe practice or something, but you know, we could literally, we could start the race now. There's nothing that can be done now. Ed, yes, the formation lap is on. However, I know 100% that it will not glitch and crash. I know that. So yeah, what a lap by Dev P. So 4 different pole sitters now. That's B right in Bahrain, the Moz Monster in Jeddah, Newler in Miami, and Dev P in Spain. 4 different pole sitters for 4 different races. Ooh, the Moz. I mean, the rain's really coming down now, guys. If you all want to retire, and we can get the race underway if you want. Lemon, it's going to break, I assure you. Lemon, I assure you categorically, 100,000,000%, that it will not crash on the formation lap. So stay tuned. Yeah, if all the gold drivers want to retire, 3 minutes remaining, we can get into the race. No, they don't want to retire, so that's fine. If you are interested in coming joining and racing for Formula 7 Racing, ! Discord in the chat. It will tell you everything you need to know. We have an amazing team here, league directors, admins, stewards. We have a phenomenal team, a load of drivers, great personalities. It's a great community. Formula 7 Racing community is like nothing else. We're a family here, and it's not just one of them esports racing leagues. We really do put the time and effort into this league. So yeah, make sure you come and join us! Discord in the chat. So that is it for the Spanish Grand Prix. As you can see, Muscat gets that 5-place grid penalty. Dev P in the Haas gets pole position for Spain. B Wright in the Ferrari will start alongside him in P2. On the second row of the grid is Tyes in the Aston Martin in P3, and alongside him Maxi Block in the Alpine in P4. On the third row of the grid, Muscat in the Williams in P5, alongside him Banter Brandon in the Alpine in P6. Newlett in the Mercedes in P7, Xavi the Irish driver in the Alfa Romeo in P8. The Moz Monster, 2 out the last races, he's won them both in the Red Bull in P9, and Fanfinus in the Alfa Tauri crashed out and starts in P10. So, the Moz Monsters won the last 2 races in Jeddah and Miami, so we'll be looking for a hat-trick of wins. Nathan, it's going to break, I assure you. Lemon, I'm telling you, it won't. Video on the table. I'm telling you, Lemon, it will not break. What's going on, Owen? Oh, DJ Harvey. What's going on, Red? So, the race is about to start. I can't actually wait for this one. Have you seen how closely matched every single driver is here? I mean, not even a tenth of a second separating the top 3 drivers then in Q3. I just can't imagine if you get the perfect start here. Let's just have a look at tyre strategies. I just want to see if anybody went for the hards. 1, E. Williams. I knew. Before he even looked, then I was going to say, I bet Ed's gone hards. I bet you Ed's gone hards. He always picks a different strategy, and I was this close to saying it. I should have done. Ed went hards. So, yeah. Lemon. I'm about to say lights out, so get ready. Lemon, it was me and you that went hards in silver. It was only me and you on the grid that went to hards instead of mediums. So, can they get into a good order for the start of this race? So this is up. They all start to line up. Where's Dev P going to place that Haas? So just slightly to the right we're seeing there. You've got the Ferrari of B Wright getting ready to go. Maxi Block, Banter Brandon, Newlett, Captain Blade doesn't park up properly. He's disqualified. Here comes E. Williams, parks it just to the right. Nicely done. Tochi comes in. A. Quinlan's parked up. Joe Champion, Ryan Davine, strategy, all ready to go. So here we go. Round 4 here in Catalonia, Spain. And it lights out and away we go, and look at the start that the Haas of Dev P got. That was an amazing start. Maxi Bock in the Alpine, moving up round the outside. They're all coming through. Here comes Maxi Bock right on the tail of that Haas of Dev P. There's a yellow flag. The Ferrari goes around the outside. B-Rise back up to P2. The Aston Martin off the circuit. That's ties down to P6. The Mosmonster and the Red Bull already up to P5, up 3 places. Captain Blades into the top 10. A. Quinlan's up 4 places. E. Williams is down 1. Fanfinus, who crashed out in Q3, is down to P20 and has lost 11 places. Banter Brandon is battling there with Newlet and the Red Bull of the Moz Monster as well. So going side by side there, wheel to wheel. Captain Blade just getting past Xavi in the Alfa Romeo. But Xavi's got the inside line, and there goes the Aston Martin of Tyres. He's had such a good qualifying. And Oliver de Moos in the Alpha Tauri is out on lap 1 here in Spain, as the Aston Martin of Tyres got damaged as well. So Oliver de Moos in the Alpha Tauri is out. But Tyres qualified P3 as well. I don't know what that start was. Tyres, make sure you submit everything. So Dev P still leads with that amazing start. B-Rise stays P2 after getting took down the straight for a brief moment. Green flag, we go back racing again. The 2 Alpines though, both up 1 position, and one of them into the podiums. The Moz is on the tail though. Newlet stays in P6. Muscati on his very final race for Formula 7 Racing before he swoops off and retires. He's up to P7. Okay, you win here. Sips his tea in anticipation. I love that. A. Quinlan is up 8 places in that Williams as well. He's up to P9, so he's had a cracking start. Ryan Dipavine as well in that Aston Martin. He's up to P13. E. Williams is there as well. He's out now at 1 place, but remember, he's on them hards. He will really, really struggle on them hards. I found that out the hard way. Joe Champion, not sure what's happened with him there. He's at the back. Tocci as well. So there are a few drivers at the back there that I'm not sure what's happened with. But B Wright is right on the tail of Dev P. So DRS is now enabled, so it's about to get tasty. Maxi Bock is going to have to fight off his teammate, Banter Brandon. Yellow flag set to 3. That's an Aston Martin, isn't it? Alpha Tauri, Fanfinus. He's really struggling. Fanfinus is really struggling. And he looks so quick as well in qualifying, but he's just not had a good break here. There's a bit of battle in there. That's A. Quinlan. Oh no, we just said he's had an amazing start. Up to P9 and goes and bins it. Going round turn 3, the long right-hander. So everybody moves up a place. PX limits in that Ferrari. He's up to P11. He's nearly in the points. Oh, Joe, you're kidding. Oh, sorry, mate. Muscati's out. Muscati is out. How's he? Where's he gone out? Oh, you're kidding. Let's go on board with A. Quinlan and let's have a look where Muscati's lost it. Oh, he's lost it there. Oh, so Muscati is out. His very last race with Formula 7 Racing. He's been here such a long time. He's been an amazing advocate for esports racing and for Formula 7. I want to wish Muscati all the very best on his future endeavours, and thank you for everything he's done for Formula 7 Racing and becoming world champion and winning 2 constructors titles. He's been absolutely amazing, so congratulations to Muscati, and he will be very highly missed here, here at F7R. A. Quinlan is into the pit lane, so he's going to have to get sorted. Is that a safety car that's out? It is, yeah. So they're going to bunch him back up. So A. Quinlan will get that pit stop done. Is anybody actually changing their tyres? No. A. Quinlan's onto the hards. He could actually go to the end of the race now and then. A. Quinlan box, exactly, Lemon. Got to keep an eye out for these sneaky snakes. So safety car is in this lap. Dev P gets the restart and he gets a really nice restart. And Dev, Captain Blade, 5-second penalty, severe collision with Xavi on the restart. Lucas has gone. Lucas is at the back. I don't know what's happened there, but the Red Bull driver has been left for dust at this safety car restart. Here goes Xavi and PX Limits. No, that's Captain Blade and Xavi again, wheel to wheel, going into turn 1 and 2. Ryan Divervine's down a few places as well. E. Williams now into P10. Who's that? That's Tyes again. No, that's the second time for the Aston Martin driver. He can't catch a break. So Dev P has already pulled nearly a second away from B right in that Ferrari. The two Alpines are still there in 3rd and 4th, and the Mosmonster in the Red Bull right on their tails. Set to 2 yellow flag. That's the Aston Martin of Ryan Divervine. It's the 2 Aston Martins now that are at the back. But Tyes has just got past Joe Champion. So Tyes is now making progress. Joe Champion's not here, sorry. Yeah, you're right. He's losing that DRS at the moment. Oh, that's a good angle, good camera angle that. Xavi in the slipstream of Captain Blade. They're going to go wheel to wheel once again. No, he's not. He just thinks better of it and backs out. But Xavi looks very quick here. Captain Blade got some defending to do. We've got that 5-second time penalty as well. So, back on board with the two Alpines and the Red Bull. They're scrapping out for podiums. B right now 1.1 behind Dev P. Oh, B right, no! He's not lost too many positions actually, he's still in the game here. Oh, but he's behind his teammate in P9. He needs to be careful with them tyres. The last thing he wants to do is slip out again. He's now got E. Williams on his tail as well. Yeah, he needs to be careful with them tyres at the moment, be right. DRS is now re-enabled. So the two Alpines are both in podiums now. Will we start to see these Alpines work together? You see how close Banter Brandon is to the back of Maxibot, but you see him just ease off very, very slightly then when he thought he was going to get a bit close. So, will there be team orders in the Alpine garage, or will they let them go fighting? I think we're about to see. Sector 1, yellow flag. That's another Aston Martin. That's Ryan Dyson again. No, sorry, that was tyres this time again. These two Alpines are like synchronised swimmers. And the Moz just watches on from the distance. He's just waiting to pounce. Oh, Ryan's out. Ryan's lost it in Sector 2 and he's lost it at Turn 7. But it's not a safety car, which is good. So we carry on racing. Xavi's got past Captain Blade. Xavi has done it, the Alfa Romeo driver, down to Turn 1, and he's gone through and past the McLaren. So really well done from Xavi, but Captain Blade ain't going to let him get away easily. Xavi with the fastest lap. Oh, there goes back to Brandon. Team orders, my ass. B right goes past PX Limits in the Ferrari as well, but they were definitely team orders. PX Limits definitely let his teammate for a Maxi block. No, the Alpine and Maxi block, after being attacked by his teammates, gets a second bow and arrow in the heart and spins it and goes to P7. He's now got a fend off the two Ferraris. He's gone from podium sitter and P2 to P8 and no teammate. P7. Jesus. Just went from bad to worse for Maxi, but he's still in a very good position. Brandon, I blame you. We should be more like the Ferraris. You're selfish. So the two Alpines, obviously no team orders in that garage. But to be honest, I think what they were doing, well, they looked very close. It didn't look like Maxi was letting him past anyway. It looked very close. So what I think, because it could go two ways. Maxi could say, Banter, you go through. I'll then get the slipstream off you. But it just looked too close to the team orders. Whereas when you see the Ferraris, it happens with PX and B-Right. You'll see PX move over and let B-Right go through. You won't see him just, switching his bloody rear wings on the way through. E. Williams is right there as well. Remember, them hards will start to come into play very shortly. So keep an eye on... PX limits. That's two teammates that have now been shafted. The Ferrari driver down to P14. It's very easy to lose it there, though. So E. Williams now up to P9. The Mosmos, the look of this. He's going to have a load of slipstream in a minute. And he's going to start attacking Banter Brandon. Here we go. He's going to start getting close. Cyclo. Did you just say play soccer? Cyclo, you're not Irish. What the hell are you calling it soccer for? Well, I'm American. If Dev P called it soccer, I'd understand. Because he thinks football is what you play with your hands. Anyway, Dev P is now 5.2 seconds clear of the Alpine of Banter Brandon. The Mosmos is about to attack him. Here he comes, the Red Bull into the slipstream to the very last second around. Past the Alpine, the Red Bull moves up into P2, but Banter Brandon ain't going to let him get away for long, because here is Newlet as well. The Mercedes of Newlet says, I'll have a crack at that actually as well, Moz. So Banter Brandon's now got to attack and defend at the same time. Yeah, a good overtake that by Moz actually down the straight. Xavi's starting to catch up, but he's also got to defend Captain Blade. Maxi Block's back in his rhythm now, the Alpine driver. B-Right's there. E. Williams, I tell you, E. Williams is in a very, very good position, let me tell you now. He's in P9 and he's just striding along on them hard compound tyres. When he goes onto them mediums, if no more safety cars come out and he goes onto his strategy, onto the mediums, blah, 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 watch this space, because he will be very, very quick. Very quick. He's done really well to stay so close to everybody else on them hard. Obviously, the safety car helps as well. Groups them all back up, which was great. That's exactly what you want. That's what you hope. Oh, Jesus. That's what you hope for. When you start on the hard, you hope for a safety car before your strategy, so you can just stay in touch with the medium runners. You'll want a safety car. Like, what you're thinking in your head when you start on the hard, I need a safety car. And then I can group up, and then hopefully when I get to my strategy, I'm not too far away from the rest of them. I go into the mediums, and off I go for the challenge. Other than that little mistake that we just witnessed there, he obviously knew he was on TV, didn't he? So. Anyway, Dev P still 5 seconds clear from Moz. Banter Brandon's there, Newlet, yellow flag set to 3. That is it Ties? Ties again, Jesus. Ties is having a poor race here. I do feel sorry for him after qualifying P3 as well. What's going on, Owen? How you doing, mate? So Dev P leads. The Mosmos in second, yellow flag set to 2. Is that Ferrari? Is that PX limits? I think it was. It was down in P14. Oh, Dev P. Banter Brandon has the Moz just escaped the DRS of Banter Brandon. He has. Oh, that leaves him open to the attack from Newlet. Here comes the Mercedes of Newlet. Moves up into the podiums. He needs a good race, Newlet, let me tell you. And because of the slipstream off Banter Brandon, he's now caught up to the Mosmonster as well. He's now inside the slipstream. Maxi Block is first to show his hand. He's gone for the undercut. He's gone for the undercut. B-Right's gone past Xavi. Xavi spun it. Their mediums are starting to suffer now, and Xavi in the Alfa Romeo has spun it. That puts B right back up to P6. E. Williams in P7 on them hards. Banter Brandon now down to P4 after Newlett stealing that podium place off him. And because of that DRS slingshot, he's now caught up to the Moz as well. A. Quinlan gets past Xavi and up to P11 as well. He's made a decent comeback there, A. Quinlan, after that horrid start. Remember, Captain Blade does have that 5-second time penalty. He's definitely catching up to back markers there. Oh no, he's catching up to an actual driver, an Aston Martin. I tell you, Tyes does not want to get caught here, because if Tyes gets caught and a safety car comes out, it's game over. Yeah, if Tyes gets caught by Dev P, because you're not allowed to unlap yourself under a safety car on this game. Oh, who's that? Who's that? Oh, it's Tyes. That's it. Game over. That's it. He was on the softs as well. He just needed to keep it, start pulling away. Fan finishes fitted as well. Because once you get lapped, there's no way of getting back into the race. The race is over. Even with the safety car or anything, it's all game over once you get lapped. Because there's no way of back into it. So they should sort that out, really. They should let the lapped cars unlap themselves and that. But anyway, that is. I feel really sorry there for Tyes. He's had a horrid race, hasn't he? Anyway, back to the racing. E. Williams still there. So Maxi Bock is pitted. He's gone for that undercut. So keep an eye on him. Fan Finish has just pitted as well. He's come out 6.1 seconds behind Maxi Block. Tolchi there, getting past Joe's champion. No, it's just the two ghosted cars battling. I feel really sorry actually for Joe. Apologies, Joe. It's my fault that. So, Newlett and Banter Brandon are fitted. We'll go back to Joe in a minute. Newlett and Banter Brandon have pitted. Did they get it? Spot on. Here comes Banter Brandon. Here comes Newlett, and Banter Brandon comes back out right behind Newlett. They're onto the hard. E. Williams goes through. Lucas goes through. He stays out. Where are they going to come out? A. Quinlan just goes through. Here is Xavi right out in front of Newlett. Newlett's going to get DRS off Xavi, I think, but he's going to have to warm them tyres up. Tyres is retired. He's out of the race. Newlett, no, look at that. He's got absolutely no grip in them tyres. They take so long to heat up. And Banter Brandon's also struggling as well. So PX Limits on these mediums is about to catch these two drivers. They take so long for them hard tyres to warm up as well, and to get heat and grip into them. Yellow flag sector 1. So Newlett and Banter Brandon really struggling. Here comes PX Limits. I think they might have just started to get that little bit of grip into them now. Yeah, going back to Joe, I feel really sorry for Joe, because we found out why it was glitching every time on the formation lap is that if you are the host and the spectator, so like when I set up the lobby as Formula 7 Racing and I'm the host, it will crash on the formation lap. But if you are not the host, it won't crash. So that's why Joe was the host. Joe set up the lobby and I was the spectator. So then when Joe got kicked, he can't join back because he's the host. So he's to help us have a formation lap. He's basically sacrificed his own race. Jesus, Newlett, Banter Brandon, Maxi Block, where are they all coming out? There's Dev P, no, the American, he was leading this race by 5 seconds. There goes Newlett and Banter Brandon. I said they were really hard to get heat into them tyres. You have to be so careful when coming out of the pit lane. He went onto them hard tyres. You need to build heat into them. You've got no grip at all. He's come out of the pit lane after leading this Grand Prix by 5 seconds. And he's lost it in turn 1. And now Banter Brandon and Newlett, who were in P2 and P3, have both gone through. And so is PX Limits. He's now 5 seconds behind second and third. Theoretically anyway. The Moz Monster, who was P2, sorry, they were P3 and P4. The Moz has now gone into the pits. Where is Newlett and Banter Brandon? Remember, the Moz is going to have to try and get grip into his tyres. It'll be interesting to see where Newlett and Banter Brandon come out here. Usually the undercut's a lot stronger than the overcut, but the Moz Monster just coming in 2 laps later. Here comes the Moz. B. Wright stayed out on the mediums. He's going for a real long stint. E. Williams, who's not pitted yet, but he started on them hard. He's all the way up to P2. Here comes the Moz Monster. Here comes Newlett. Here comes Newlett and Banner Brandon. And the Moz Monster has come out in front of both of them. He's come out in front of both of them. But here comes Sharvey on the Moz Monster. Remember, he's on them old hards. Here comes A. Quinlan. Newland and Banner Brandon, who have got heat into their tyres. The Moz is being so careful. It takes about half a lap to get grip. And here's Newland and Banner Brandon just trying to chase down that Red Bull before he gets a chance to get heat into them tyres. Matt, thank you so much for the subscription with Prime. 10 months. Matt has been supporting Formula 7 racing. I really couldn't ask for a better supporter. Thank you so much, mate. That is PX Limits dad as well. He's here supporting him every single week. The Ferrari driver PX is now back into the points. So the Moz Monster is 7/10 off Sharvey, so he's going to have DRS. So the Moz has actually come out in a pretty decent position as well. So the Moz was standing on his own in P2. He had nobody in front of him. He's now got Sharvey helping him out. Oh, God. The Moz now going to have that DRS to fend off the attack from A. Quinlan, who's on them hard tyres. Newland and Banner Brandon, who are on older hard compounds, are now behind the Moz. And the Moz goes through. Wow, that was a late move by A. Quinlan. And Newland nearly getting caught out. They go wheel to wheel, the Williams and the Mercedes. Here comes Banner Brandon as well. But wow, that was a late change of direction for the Williams driver. And Newland nearly got caught out. But he's safe, he's through, and he's up to P7. Lucas has gone past Strategy. Very nice overtake from the Red Bull driver. The McLaren of Stride just struggling, but he's going for that longer stint as well. I tell you, B. Wright, Lucas, Strategy, and Sharvey, PX Limits, all need a safety car right now. Right now. Tom, the races are every single Sunday, mate. 10 a.m, 12:30 p.m, and 7 p.m. That's bronze, silver, and gold. It doesn't matter how fast you are. We've got a division for you. All we ask is that you are clean, fair, and a genuinely nice person, because we're like no other racing league here. We do also have a realistic division that race on a Wednesday night, so it's just realistic performance, and a Formula 2 as well on a Saturday night. So whatever you're into, we don't plan on expanding to this stupid heights. We have a very, very well-run league. Standings, team, stewards, league directors, even the realistic have team bosses and everything. It's great. Time zone's GMT British time. So yeah, if you're up for it, mate. Maxi Block and PX Limits are having a bit of a scrap back there as well. So Dev P being pulled into that. So B. Wright's still not pitted. He could be losing a lot of time. This is very risky. I know what he's hoping for. But I tell you what, actually, he's going to go for the softs, isn't he? B. Wright's going to go for the softs. But is he going to lose too much time trying to get to the softs than what he would do just opting for not for the softs? Nathan, I have to be a nice person. I never got that memo. You're sort of like the exception, Lemon. There's nobody quite like you. You're like the most lovable, non-likeable person. Do you know what I mean? Sharvey's over the back of Newlett. The Moz Monster is there as well. So Newlett now 1.3 off the Moz Monster. Strategy. Are any of these going to pit? Strategy stays out. B. Wright stayed out. Remember, E. Williams on them hard compound tyres is in a very good position. He's 6 seconds in front of Lucas. Sharvey's into the pit lane. 19 laps on them mediums. He could do no more. Is he going to get it? Optimal strategy straight into the pit lane for the Alfa Romeo. Here comes Sharvey. He needs a very good stop here, Sharvey. He was in a decent position before all this happened. Is he going to go onto the softs? He does. 12 laps on the softs. It's a bit of a stretch, but it will be done. So B. Wright and E. Williams are both going to go onto the softs now. There's no way they're going to go for anything else. So E. Williams, when he pits, is going to come back out on the softs and have a nice, good crack at this. Lucas as well, and Strategy, and Moz is right there. So let's just have a look how far he is off the leader. So The Moz is 10 seconds off of B Right, and they still need to pit. Everybody in front of Moz still needs to pit. So it's still very interesting. It's anybody's race yet, but at the moment it looks as though the Moz is still leading this. He's got fresher tyres than Newlet and Banter Brandon because he went for the overcut. So he's still got them fresher tyres, but he's 0.8 of a second in front of Newlet. But he's a bit of a sitting duck now because Newlet's going to have DRS down the straight, and he's going to begin to catch him every single time he comes down the pit straight. He needs to try and move away a little bit and get away from that DRS, because it's going to get down to about 6 or 7 tenths as they reach the end and down into turn 1 now. So the Mercedes is in a very good position here, right behind the Red Bull. So down they go to about 7 tenths of a second, nearly down to 6. And into turn 1 they go, and Banter Brandon's actually out of the DRS and 1.4 seconds behind Newlet. Captain Blade gets past PX limits. A nice little battle there between the McLaren and the Ferraris. Fanfin still plodding away there, the AlphaTauri driver, after that bad start from him. So B Right, the world champion, the 2-time driver of the year, leading this race at the moment. But E. Williams is all over the back of him. How did E. Williams come back to there? Here he comes, DRS enabled down the inside. The Haas driver goes, just backs out slightly. They might lose a bit of time as they begin to scrap it out here. And B Right and E. Williams, the master and his apprentice, both here, first and second here in Spain. And E. Williams gets through and now leads this Grand Prix on lap 22. Does he now go into the pit lane? No. But B Right does. He attempted it. He tried it. He just didn't pull it off. He wanted it a bit longer, but 21 laps is very, very good on the mediums. He's now going to go on to the softs for these last 10 laps here. Lucas has pitted as well, so has Strategy, so they've all gone in for them soft compound tyres. Now, I want to see where the Ferrari of B Right comes out here. Brilliant. I tell you what, B Right to do 23 laps on their mediums is incredible. So let's not underestimate the strategy that he's just pulled off here. And he's going to come out just behind Fanfinus in P11. So he's going to have DRS as well, but he needs to just get a little bit of heat into them tyres. Lemon says the softs are a mistake, so we shall see. E. Williams is still out. Remember, when we last checked the interval a lap ago, the Moz was 10 seconds behind E. Williams. He's now 7.3. That's how much the Moz is catching up to E. Williams. Every single lap he now stays out. 22 laps on them hard, and everybody behind him is captured. And I tell you, he's in a really good position, A. Quinlan, who had to pit on, I think it was like lap 4. He pitted on lap 4. He's now done 19 laps on them hards. He's got 10 laps remaining, and he's in P5. So watch out for him. Yellow flag sector 3. Oh, A. Quinlan has spun it. A. Quinlan has spun it. The Williams, he spun it again. We said he'd done 19 laps on them hard. We said he was doing well. Oh, so unfortunate for the Williams driver. E. Williams, look at that, already down to 6.4 now. PX Limits goes into the pit lane. B Right, the world champion, on them soft. The front runners of the soft runners up to P9 and is about to start battling through the grid. So keep an eye on them. Commentators curse Matt every time. It's interesting to see what Ed's strategy is here. Like, what's he waiting for? Is he waiting for a safety car, a VSC? He must be. There's 9 laps left. He needs to go onto them softs. Otherwise, he's going to fall when he pits. He's going to be behind everybody else on the softs because they would have made too much time up on him. I mean, you look at B Right, how much time he's already making up on Fanfinus. And he's on 9 lap hards. He's on 23 lap hards. He's going to have to pit. Otherwise, he's overshot his strategy completely. He has. There we go. E. Williams is into the pit lane. He needs to get this bang on. Boom. Straight into the line. Through he goes. E. Williams into the pit lane. The Moz Monster goes through. Newlet goes through. Banter Brandon goes through. That is a yellow flag. Imagine a safety car there. So E. Williams into the pit lane. Here comes Maxwell. Captain Blade comes through. Fanfness is coming around the final chicane. Here is B Right in the DRS of Fanfness, the AlphaTauri. Here comes the Ferrari, the world champion goes through on the AlphaTauri. Fanfness putting that AlphaTauri on the inside line. And B Right doesn't get through. That's a late lunge by Fanfness in the AlphaTauri. And they go wheel to wheels. They scrap it out. That's the AlphaTauri, the Ferrari, and his sister car, the Red Bull. Lucas, you cheeky sod, goes down the inside and says, Ben, you've had your turn, now it's my turn. He comes through, takes Fanfness round the outside, and the Red Bull of Lucas is through. E. Williams actually came out 3.2 seconds clear of Lucas in that Red Bull. And he's on fresher softs. Can you believe that? So he's now the front runners of the softs, chasing down everybody else. We have got some ending to this race. So E. Williams in the Haas is now going to chase down the pack. Fanfness, I think, has had a problem. He spun it again. Has he beached? You can reset to track if you've beached. Yeah, there you go. Newlet, this is for the race win. Newlet is on the back of the Moz. 7 laps remaining here in Catalonia. And it's about to get interesting. As Red says, get the popcorn out. So, Newlet, Banner, Brandon, anybody can win here and be right. Back on his mate. Oh, the 2 Silver League directors, the 2 commentators and the 2 friends who both met up in Netherlands, both down to Formula 7 Racing and have become best mates, are battling out on track today. You wouldn't have guessed they were mates. So B-Right goes through in that Ferrari. Strategy in the McLarens there as well. So Dev P, who was leading by 5 seconds, is now in P4 and he's 3.5 off a podium after spinning it coming out of the pit lane on his cold hard tyres. E. Williams, he needs to start posting these laps in now and he needs to catch up. Lemon, Ed might just get 5th. He might do indeed, yeah. After starting, where did Ed start? Like P15, didn't he? He's had a good race, Ed, a really good race. So 6 laps remaining here in Spain. Right, let's jump to the front runners. This is for the race win and it's still all to play for. So we had this last time as well. We had this huge DRS train. The Moz had to bloody hold everybody off for God knows how many laps. The Moz is on his way to a hat-trick of race wins. He won last week in Miami, he won the week before in Jeddah, and now he's going for it here in Spain. So yeah, he could make it 3 out of 3 in a row. Fanfness with that 5-second time penalty. E. Williams, yeah, he's made up about half a second. You know, he's not making up as much time as a 40 would. No, he's made up about a second actually on Captain Blade. He's starting to fly through them corners. He's got like them soft tyres up to temperature now, up to heat. Yeah, you can see the time really starting to come down now. Newlet, wow, look how close Newlet is. Here he goes, Newlet on the Red Bull, and that is really nice defending by the Mosmos. You see where he placed that Red Bull car, and he's not using any of his ERS as well. He was just positioning the car. He knew that Newlet was going to try and use that ERS and use his battery charge, but he was just positioning his car for the defense, you know. Yellow flag sector 1, that's a McLaren of strategy with a problem there. But just on board here, Newlet's going to get some more DRS again. And I don't think he'll touch that ERS again here. No, he doesn't. And neither does Moz either. Ooh, this is going to get close, very close. E. Williams has not made any time up in that first sector on Captain Blade, by the way. So, Not sure if he's going to make up too much time on them socks. 5 laps remaining here. And here he comes again. Here comes Newlett. ERS is straight on for the Mosmos. The yellow flag set to 1 again, and that is a Williams of A. Quinlan. Here comes Newlett, and he's just not close enough. Very good defending from the Red Bull driver. Was that A. Quinlan? Yeah, it was. Newlett is really close to the back of the Red Bull. Brandon's there as well. He's starting to catch. E. Williams has only made 0.3 of a second again on Captain Blade. Like, I really thought he'd just be knocking that time down, like 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths, and he just doesn't seem to find it at the moment. And you got to remember, he's got to catch Captain Blade, and then he's 1.7 away from Maxi Block, and then he's 5.8 away from Dev P. So, and there's only 4 laps remaining. So, yeah, Lemon, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. They fall off way too quick, and he might actually still catch Captain Blade here. Although I do still think that E. Williams has had a phenomenal race and potentially driver of the day race. But, so we'll see when it comes to the end. Still 1.4 off yet. Lucas is there as well. He's still behind B right in that Ferrari. The Moz has built a little bit of a gap now, 9 tenths of a second, 8 tenths between him and Newlett in that Mercedes. Brandon in the Alpine is there as well. He's going for another podium. Dev P is going to try and catch him, but it's 3 laps remaining here in Spain, round 4, season 5 for the Gold Division. Vanfin is setting the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. And he starts to catch. E. Williams is nearly inside DRS. If he gets inside DRS, he might be able to catch him and get him before the end of this race. I don't think he'll get Maxi. We'll see though. Lucas is still fighting with Ben here. The world champion B right in P8. Strategy just not on point today. He had that little bit of a slip as well. So yeah, just seemed to struggle out there today, but it's still points on the board at the end of the day. That's an AlphaTauri. Is that Fanfinus? It is. Fanfinus going off track there. Oh, he spun it. Oh, he spun it. I mean, Fanfinus is actually like 2 laps behind everybody else. So, the Moz still leading, and he might just get a little bit of help near the end of this race. E. Williams has got Captain Blade. Down the straight he goes, and E. Williams has made the move. Fanfinus is out of this Grand Prix. Captain Blade's going to try and come back at E. Williams in that half. He needs to start making a move. He's 2 seconds off Maxi Box. He's going to have no help at all. And the Moz Monster, who's that? That's Dev P. The Moz Monster's about to get DRS off of a back runner. Oh, he doesn't. He moves right out of the way, straight away, A. Quinlan. Yellow flags everywhere as well. So, another attack. Lap 31 out of 33. No, he just looks a bit far away again. Brandon as well. E. Williams flying through the chicanes. He needs to get a good exit here and take away from that McLaren. Oh, here comes the McLaren. He's starting to catch that DRS, but he's going to run out of track. He is, and Newlett did as well. 2 laps remaining. Lemon, yeah, you're right. For Maxi, head down, out of trouble. Just a real shame for Maxi Block about that mistake, and that really cost him. He was in them podiums, and then his teammate overtook him, and then 2 turns later he spins, and it's just It went from there. So he's made a good recovery to get back up to P5 anyway. Can the Moz hold on? He's got a lot more ERS than Newler, and Banter Brandon looks as if he's just charging his up, ready for that one last attack on the last lap of this Grand Prix. He's got nearly 40% compared to the 18% of Newler. The Mosmos has got 40% as well. He gets a little bit squirrely coming out of that final chicane, and Newler might try and pounce on it. ERS is on, DRS enabled. He might just be able to catch him. He's going to have to defend 2 more DRS straights yet. Here comes Banner Brandon, absolutely pummeling that ERS, using his DRS, and Newlet now 4/10 of a second off of the Mosmos. This is the very final lap of this Grand Prix. It's anybody's race to win. And Captain Blade, whoa, Captain Blade's gone for it. Round the outside goes the McLaren driver as they go wheel to wheel with the Haas. And E. Williams down the inside, makes the move and comes back at him. And he positions his car very well as Captain Blade tries to go back round the outside and make another attack. But E. Williams just cuts him off very nice, and a dive down the inside goes Captain Blade, and that is all his own fault, all his own doing by Captain Blade. He dived down the inside. He needed to just back out there. Just back out. It's like they were right on board with him when that happened. But here he comes. The Mosmonster has held on from start to finish, and the Mosmonster is going to make it 3 wins out of 3. Jeddah, Miami, and now Spain. The Mosmonster comes through to win the Spanish Grand Prix here in Catalonia. Newlet comes through to take P2 in that Mercedes, and Banter Brandon in the Alpine comes through to take another podium in P3. Very unfortunate by the pole sitter of Dev P, the American, but he comes through to take a nice 12 points in P4. Maxi Bock, after that mistake and that battle with his teammate, will take P5. And E. Williams, what a drive from him. P15 on the grid to P6, and my driver of the day as well. Captain Blade comes through in P7, and B. Wright in the Ferrari, the world champion, comes through in P8, and Lucas in that Red Bull comes through in P9. They switched places on the very last lap, and I know that Lucas is a reserve, so I've got a funny feeling that Lucas might have let him through for that extra 2 points, because they're really good friends. So, and Lucas is only a reserve, and B. Wright's obviously the world champion, so I've got a funny feeling that Lucas might have just braked a little bit and let B. Wright through. So yeah, good points for Lucas and B. Wright. And strategy, a big well done, really well done to finish 10th and get some points here today after your race as well. Strategy, you know, stuck your head down, kept at it, and got some points. But a massive farewell to Mascati as well. He DNF'd today, but he is now retired from Formula 7 racing. It's been an honour to call his races and to commentate on his championship winning season. But from all of us at Formula 7 Racing, we wish you the very best of luck in your future. So that is it. The Mosmos are on the top step of the Spanish Grand Prix. So the Moz Monster in the Red Bull is your race winner. I tell you what, the Moz actually started 8th on the grid. He could have easily been driving for the day now, looking at it and thinking about his actual race. I thought he started near the front. The Moz Monster wins the race. Newlet in the Mercedes is in P2, and Banter Brandon in the Alpine starts in P3. Not one of them started in the top 3, but all finished in the top 3. Dev P finishes in P4. Maxi Block in P5, E. Williams there in P6, Captain Blade in P7, B. Wright in P8, Lucas in P9, and Strategy in P10. Who got the fastest lap? Fanfina's got the fastest lap before he retired. There's quite a few Dutch drivers now on the grid. There's 2 Danish drivers, 3 Dutch drivers, well, about 5 Dutch drivers actually. Anyway, what a cracking race. Right, so let's go to Banter Brandon first. Banter Brandon, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, mate. What a race. Talk us through that one.
Yeah, no, that it wasn't an easy race. I knew I didn't have the pace to win it, but yeah, I was happy to sit behind them two, and yeah, I was hoping something would unfold, but it's quite hard to overtake here. So yeah, I'm happy with the podium, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd be happy with the podium as well. Talk us through the early stages. You know, you and your teammate running in second and third. What happened there? Was there any sort of collision?
No, so he just went out the corner and he said he got dirty. Yeah. Um, so yeah, and his tyres were probably overheating a bit. So
Yeah. Well, you know, the Alpines have got good points on the board again, Brandon. You know, third and fifth. That's another 25 points on the board. Yous are really doing well in that constructors battle.
yeah, we just need to keep consistent because as you saw today, quite a lot of the fast guys spun and lost some really good points. So yeah, we just need to be there and thereabouts, and yeah, hopefully we can just stay consistent and stay high up there in the constructors.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, you keep doing them. You keep pulling out them podiums. Maxibot keeps pulling out them points. You're making a cracking team at the moment. Congratulations on another great race, Brandon, and another great podium.
Thank you. Hope you're alright, mate.
Thanks, Brandon. It means a lot, that, mate. Sorry, guys. Let me just take a drink. I should have muted my mic, really. Right, Nulet, the Norwegian driver in the Mercedes, finishes runner-up in P2. How are you, mate?
I'm doing great.
What a race. Talk us through that one. You started 6th on the grid, finished 2nd, and you looked incredible.
Yeah, first of all, in quali, I went out a bit late in Q3. When the rain came, I couldn't do much.
Of course, yeah.
So, yeah, both me and Moss had that issue, but we finished good. So, and for the race, I really thought I had the pace to go for the win, at least on the first stint on the mediums. I was right behind Moss and was thinking that I had to get the overtake done in that stint, or else, yeah, it would have been hard. But he got the better half of it on when we went to the hard. So.
No, you're right. Yeah. Well, I mean, you had pace all race. And when you went into the pit stop and you came back out behind Moz, but you caught up to him by about 2 seconds in a couple of laps. I was watching the the telemetry screen, and you were catching him very quickly. But then when you caught up to him, he's very, very good at defending Moz. But so even though you've got pace to catch him, it's a different story trying to overtake him. And I'm sure you noticed that today.
Yeah, exactly. It was so hard to keep up with him in Sector 3, and especially out of that last corner. So I tried to get close, but couldn't get close enough. So fair play to him. Yeah,
fair play. But Nuala, you look incredibly quick. You know, in realistic, in gold, you know, pole position last week. Great points on the board. I think you've got a real shot at the championship this season. And I really hope you carry on doing well. So congratulations on another great podium, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Nuala. So we go to your race winner 3 times in 3 weeks. Wins in Jeddah, Miami, and now Spain. The Moz Monster. How are you, mate?
I'm feeling very good after that. Very good.
Mate, you are now leading the championship by a bit of a way now.
I know. I think Brandon's second. I think.
Yeah, I think Brandon is now second. Yeah.
Yeah, it was obviously I had the qualifying where it went to rain. I invalidated my lap that I was doing, so I couldn't get one in. But I went from 8th to 5th, I think, on the start.
Yeah, you had a great start. Yeah.
People spun, and I was actually going to do the medium soft, and then I saw the Dev P spun, so I knew I would be in first if I just pitted for hard. So I just went for the track position. But...
Oh, well, the strategy was perfect, Moz. You got a great race start. You made up like 3 positions on like the first corner. You started P8. I know you qualified P9, but with Moz's obviously 5, Mascati's 5-place grid penalty, that moved you up to P8. I mean, the strategy and everything like that, you just seem to have come out of nowhere. Even though you made them 3 places up at the start of the race, the second half of the race, you were just going along, and you just seemed to everybody that was in front of you just ended up pitting. You ended up getting out in the lead, and you just ended up running away with it. Talk us through defending against. Obviously, you were the car in front, so you're without that DRS. Talk us through defending Newlet and Banter Brandon for the last 10 laps.
Well, so Newlet's first sector, he was out of the right-hander. He was always like 4 or 5 tenths behind me. There was one time he tried to go for a move. I just parked it in the middle. But
yeah,
my final sector, I think, was rapid. I managed to get it. If it was like 7 tenths out of the last corner, I knew that he wouldn't be able to overtake me because I could just use a bit of overtake and just keep ahead. But
yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I just made sure I got good exits in the final corner. On the last lap, I actually had the worst exit. I spun the wheels a bit. I nearly spun.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, it was very close, mate. But you won the Grand Prix. It's another win. That's 3 out of 3, mate. That must feel good now.
It does, especially this one, because I think it was more earned than the other 2. So.
Definitely, mate. Well, you showed out there today. You started 8th on the grid. You got the race win. You really put it all out there on the track today. So congratulations on another phenomenal victory and the hat-trick of wins now. So amazing, Moz.
Cheers, Nathan, mate.
Cheers, mate. Matt, thank you so much. Thanks for your comment. And Tom, I'm glad you enjoyed the race, mate. Make sure you tune in next Sunday as well. And even Wednesday on the Realistic. Or if you want to participate, I know you've just joined the Discord. We'll sort you out, mate. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. It's been an incredible day of racing. I always love Catalonia. You always get some amazing overtakes and battling, and you know, it's just one of them circuits that you love to race, and everybody has cracking time and has great battles. But yeah, thank you all so much for the support that you've shown me over the last week as well. It's been noticed, and I really appreciate it, and what Lucas did for me today and stuff like that. But yeah, the league directors do an amazing job at running all the divisions. The stewards that put in all the hard work looking through all them terrible accidents, and they're sorting all through that out and everything like that. They do an amazing job, and the admins that sort everybody out that comes through. You know, there's a lot of people that come in and out. Not many people go out. A lot of people come in, and the admin are always there to sort them out and help out and sort all the standings out. You know, so yeah, thank you all so much. We really do appreciate it. Formula 7 racing just carries on, just continues to grow way beyond what I ever expected. And, you know, I'm so glad that all of you guys are a part of it as well. So, yeah, thank you all so much. We'll be back on Wednesday for Realistic at 8 p.m. We'll be back F2 on Saturday for 8 p.m. And next week what is next week? Is it Australia? Yeah, Australia next week. Bronze is again 10 a.m, silver 12:30, and gold 7. Yeah, I know that sound glitch is doing you over, Ben. Don't worry about it. But yeah, thank you all for watching, guys. We'll see you again on Wednesday.